Hi guys, in this video we will be looking at simultaneous equation grade 11, simultaneous equations grade 11. Well, if you are new to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe. You only subscribe once, it's free of charge. Like and comment. Well, when it comes to simultaneous equation, they come in different forms. Sometimes they can give you a linear and a quadratic equation. Or sometimes they can give you a linear and an exponential equation. Or sometimes they can give you an exponential equation and a linear equation. So this different forms of equations, it's essential to know them. It's very, very essential to know them. So as a grade 11 learner, you need to know this, right? So, because this will prepare you for your exam questions. And note, even if you're not in grade 11, there's still a room for you to learn. There's always a room for learning. Without wasting time, let's get to today's video. So we are given there y plus 6, y plus 6 and x squared plus y squared, which is equals to 36. Well, when it comes to such equation, the first step is to choose the easiest equation for you. If I were you, I'll choose a linear equation, and it's either I make x the subject of the formula or I make y the subject of the formula. Preferably, I will make y the subject. So since I have y, so if I can take if I can make y the subject, that means I can transpose x to the other side. So this will be 6 minus x. So name this equation 1. Then this will be our equation 2. So this will be x squared plus y squared is equals to 36. I know others will name this equation 2 and name this equation 3. But it depends on you. So from here, since I have my equation 2 here, I will substitute. First thing is to do is to substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Right? This equation 1 substitute to equation 2, meaning that where you see y, you will replace it by 6 minus x. Where you see y, you replace it by 6 minus x. In this video, we won't rush. It is advisable that you pause the video and do it yourself and recheck after. We won't rush because if you rush, you will crash. So let's do things in an orderly manner. Then we have x squared plus y squared, which is equals to 36. So meaning that, guys, where I see y, I'll replace it by 6 minus x, which is equals to 6 minus x squared, which is equals to 36. Then I have x squared. My second step in this case will be to work out the bracket. If you square 36, I mean that will be 6 times 6, which is 36. So you're going to have 36 here. So this power multiplies everything that is inside the bracket. 6 times 2 times 6 is 12 times x, that will be negative 12x. Then when you square a negative variable becomes a positive, so it will be x squared. Transpose 36 becomes negative 36, which is, since it's a quadratic, equated to 0. So from here, the like terms, guys, we can see the like terms. That was the third step, like terms. X squared plus x squared, that will give you 2x squared. 36 minus 36, that will be 0. Then we're left with minus 12x, which is equals to 0. So in this case, I can divide by 2. Check whether it's divisible to all here. So if I divide by 2, 2 divided by 2 will give me 1, so I'm left with x squared. 12 divided by 2, that will be 6, so I'm left with negative 6, which is equals to 0. So from here, I can see there's a highest common factor. You take out the highest common factor, which is x, you're left with x, because x times x will give you x squared. To get to 6x, you need 6. Then you equate everything to 0. X is equals to 0, or x minus 6 is equals to 0. So in this case, we have x is equals to 0, or if we transpose negative 6 to the other side, becomes positive. So you have x is equals to 6 and x is equals to 0. So guys, listen, when you are here, the best thing now is to go back to equation 1, or you can go to equation 2. It depends on you. So if I go to equation 1, remember I'm having 6 minus x. Where there is x, I will replace it, start with 0. 6 minus 0, that will be 6, or 6 minus 6, that will be 0. So these are our y values. These are our y values. So we have our x values as x is equals to 0, x is equals to 6, y is equals to 6, y is equals to 0. You can go back and substitute here. If you substitute where there is y, you replace it by 6, and where there is x, you replace it by 0, you are going to get 6. Similarly, if you do the same, you're going to get 36. So that means the equation is correct. You now have a confidence that, oh, this equation is correct. Well, let's look at another typical simultaneous equation. Another typical equation, this is our number 2 equation, simultaneous equation. 5y minus x is equals to 2, and also we're given a quadratic equation. So what we could do, always choose a linear equation in this case. So what you could do is either you make x the subject of y, but in this case I'll prefer to make x the subject of the formula. If I take x to the other side, if I transpose let me transpose y to the other side. So this will be negative 5y. Since it's positive, transpose to the other side, it's negative 5y plus 2. Then to make x the subject, remember the variable, the subject of formula can never be negative. So if you divide by negative here, we are left with positive. Negative and negative, positive 5y. Positive and negative, you're going to have negative. So you name this equation 1, and this will be our equation 2, which is and x squared minus 3xy plus 4y, which is equals to 4, as our equation 2. Right. So from here, I could just say substitute. Remember, we're using a substitution method. Substitute equation 1 into equation 2, meaning that where I see x, I'll replace it by 5 minus y, 5y minus 2, 5y minus 2. So let's write, this is x squared, sorry for that, minus 3xy plus 4y, which is equals to 4. So from here, where I see x, I replace it by 5y minus 2, just as I've stated, minus 5y minus 2 plus 5y, which is equals to 4. Where you see x, replace it by 5y minus 2. So then now we will then work out the bracket. If I work out the brackets, if you square 5y squared, that will be 25y squared. 2 multiply everything that is inside the bracket. 2 times 5, that's 10. 10y, 10y times 2, that will be 20y. Then if you square negative 2, that will be positive 4. And this negative 3, multiply everything here that is inside the bracket. If I say negative, did I do well here? Oh, I left y here. It's supposed to be y. Thank you. Was able to see it. Yeah, my mind was able to see it. So negative 3 5y, negative 3 times 5y, that will be negative 15y. Times y, that will be negative 15y squared. Then negative 3 times 2, that will be positive 6. Positive 6 times y, that will be positive 6y plus 4y, which is minus 4. Then we then equate it to 0. So remember, we have already collected the like terms here. So if you say 25y squared minus 15y squared, since they are like terms, that will give you 10y squared. So you're going to have 10y squared. So we have 20y, 6y plus 4y. If you punch that, let us see, negative 20 plus 6 plus 4y. That will give us negative 10y. So we are going to have negative 10y. Then the like terms, 4 and 4, 4 minus 4, that will be 0. So what are we left with? We're left with 0 here. So we can divide everything by, let's say, divide by 10. 10 divided by 10 will give you y squared. 10 divided by 10 will give us y here. Then you're left with 0. You will then factor out y. To get to negative y, you need negative 1. So everything is equals to 0. Equate everything to 0. Or y minus 1 is equals to 0. So from here, if I take negative 1, this will be positive 1. So I'm already having my y values. Y is equals to 0. Or y is equals to 1. So as our solutions, we are not done. Remember, we need to calculate the values of x and y, solve for x and y. So you go back to equation 1, or you can go to equation 2. Depends on you, right? So if I go to equation 1, where let me start with 0, where I see y replaced by 0. So we'll say 5 times 0 will be 0. 0 minus 2 will be minus 2. Will be minus 2. So it's very essential that we take this into consideration. So 5 times 0 will be 0 minus 2 will be negative 2. Or we will then work out this. When there is y, you replace it by 1. 5 times 1, that will be 5. Then this will be 5 times 1, which is 5. 5 minus 2, this will be 3. So very essential, guys. So we have x is equals to negative 2 and x is equals to 3. So I'll stop my video here, guys. I'll stop my video here. So on our next video, we will be looking at the one with an exponential and a linear, or an exponential and a quadratic. Hope you've learned a valuable lesson from this video. Do not forget to subscribe and like and comment. We love you.